Hello everyone, Karen Glasser here, and welcome to this episode of Connecting People, Changing Lives. I cannot believe that 2015 is almost over. Welcome to my amazing cohort and co-host, Nancy Ferrari. Good morning.
Good morning and happy holiday season to you and to everyone. And yes, I cannot believe there again. We seem to say this every year. I can't believe this year is over. However, there's just so much to celebrate, and that's sometimes there's a tendency of looking at, oh, what didn't I do? But when you and I started talking about the theme of the show, and our life review of 2015 and what we've accomplished also together. We were just in the planning stages of Connecting People, Changing Lives last December.
I know, isn't that hard to believe? I mean, here we are with a gazillion shows under our belt. I mean, we just rocked and rolled last year. I mean, some of our guests, we had Heather Elliot and Tziporah Kingsbury. I'm just reading from the list. We have Kim Castle and Sheri Fink and Melissa Washington and Dina Proctor. We had Emily Glasser, my amazing daughter-in-law.
Yes.
She was awesome. We had Louise, Eddington, and Jean Day. I mean, that's just a small little piece of the people that we had on our show. And boy, did they bring it. What were some of the topics we talked about with them?
Oh, you know what I love about our show is that we've got this beautiful umbrella that is open for any topic that we know that will be of interest to others. And I really enjoyed, because of where I am in my life, I answered the call to visibility within a conversation with Joie Gharrity. We had her on the show. We learned how to single dip, double dip, triple dip. And if you want to know what that means for you viewers out there, visit the show. Joie is still consistent with her branding. We've talked to Gioia, who talks about marketing with a heart. I'm probably forgetting several, but then we had some real playful shows, like with Mary Fran Bontempo, who I met 4 years ago, who wrote,
she was hysterical.
Not ready for granny panties. Well, yes, that's very relatable. And I think to many women, but and she talks about her new book about dirty words, and those dirty words are not what you think.
Right.
More like, what's for dinner? And oh yay, let's go on vacation. But guess who's doing all the planning?
One of my favorite shows was the one we did with Melissa Washington, and that was getting back into the workspace and working and showing people all the different things that they should be looking at to get back in the workspace. And that it really struck home with me. I had at the time I have a son that was looking for a job, so I just totally honed in on that. She was awesome. I really loved her. And then we had Louise Eddington, who was on. And
she's our personal favorite. And Jen Duchene. I take them both like this because Jen is a success astronumerologist, and Louise is a complimenter because she's really about the cosmos and the evolution of what is going on. And she just both of those women have been very instrumental in my life, because I've always worked with the cycles of the moon, but now it's all the planets because of their knowledge. Yes, and it does make a difference. So that's why we do promote our guests, because we just sort of scratched the surface with what they know. They are experts, both of them, in what they do.
Truly experts. And we covered entrepreneurship and business. We covered mindfulness and the whole concept of what is mindfulness. We had a couple of guests on that. That's where they play. That's the playground they play in. We talked about marketing and personal development. We talked a lot about health and wellness, because that is, if you're not healthy, you really can't do anything else. We talked about that. We talked about, of course, technology. I mean, because that's the playground I play in, and we had people on, and also transformation and inspiration. So we covered so many things in terms of our guests, and we want to thank them. And I see Annie's coming in to thank them. We want to thank all of our guests and put it out there. If you would like to be considered as a guest in the coming year, because we're booking now into 2016. We're already booked sort of through March. But if you are interested in being on the show and to see if you are a good candidate, not everyone is, but to be a good candidate to be on the show, we'd love we'd love to hear from you. And you can do that by connecting with me, to go to connectwithcaren.com and talk with me, and we'll see if it makes sense for you to be on a show, or maybe something else, maybe a different show, maybe a show that Nancy is doing or a show that I'm doing. But let's find out how we can bring you more visibility, because after all, isn't that what it's about? Right.
You do not want to be the best kept secret. And I have stepped into that. And I want to thank Caren, because when I met her, it wasn't last August, it was August before, I was on her Passion Point show, never having done this. And I really had to do my mental thing that, it's a conversation, which it really is. And Caren said, Nancy, don't worry about things. This is the way you are. And just be comfortable with it. And isn't that what we all want to do, is to be comfortable in our own skin?
Absolutely.
And, gosh, other people are coming to my mind that I'm so excited for them to be on our show too, about body empowerment. And that's a big one. There's so many topics that are uprising because of the need for what is going on in the world, and how they manage the stress factors as well. And we had Jean Day talking about depression,
which was and that show got so many likes and so many views. Yes. And it's such an important topic, and encourage you, go take a listen to the show or watch the show. It was really, really good. We have some amazing topics that are coming up in the new year. Of course, we'll still touch on all the things that we have, but we have in the new year, we're going to be talking about holistic lifestyles, the LGBTQ lifestyle, working in the corporate environment and how to survive the corporate environment. So we got a lot of interesting things that are coming up. So if you'd like to be considered as a guest, number one, go to Connect with Caren, and you all know it's Caren with a C, and set up a time with me. This is not a sales call. This is really just a matter of getting on the phone and saying, would you be a good guest or not? And if you're not a good guest, that doesn't mean we don't love you. It means there may be some other avenues that we would suggest you take first before you come in with us. I'm actually reading, Nancy, so I apologize for looking off to the side. And Nancy, why don't you talk a little bit about sponsorship opportunities?
Sponsorships are huge, because what I know for sure, and this is something else I wanted to share, I made the decision after, being very connected with Caren. We spent a lot of time together. She taught me how to become my own digital diva. I'm not quite there, but she's probably laughing. I know you're laughing because I can see you, that I would even say that. I was clueless, but I had learned so much. But bottom line is that since the Nancy Ferrari show has been on Spark-It Network since June, my visibility factor has grown exponentially because of the way the network is set up. And Caren, you've done a phenomenal job. Continue to do so. We've got interesting blogs. I spent some time in there yesterday. Sometimes, when you're working, you don't go back. And I went, wow, there's, other people that have contributed to your network. And so with that said, if you're a sponsor, you're going to be seen. And it's like when you watch TV, you see a commercial, you go, what's that all about? So you just have to click on the link. It goes directly to your website. And we're in a fast track world. People don't want to have to look too hard to find something. So we make it as easy as possible for you to be seen.
Right. And even more importantly, it's not just that we make it easier. We are in the midst of creating relationships with our viewers. And as we know, people buy from those that they know, like, and trust. And so we have established, I believe we have, and we've heard from our listeners and our viewers, that one of the things that they like about the show is that it is very much about the conversation. It's very much about the relationship. And we have established trust in our community, which is why that sponsorship opportunity is so important, because people are coming to us already with a great amount of respect. And they're already coming to us understanding that they have a comfortable relationship with us and they trust us. And so that's why we really want to encourage you to look at the sponsorship opportunities. They're not expensive in any way, shape, or form, and it will bring you a tremendous amount of visibility. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, how to be featured on an article or on the homepage for the Connecting People Changing Lives site, I want you to connect with Nancy. So go to connectingwithnancy.com. So mine's Connect no ing, with Caren, and Nancy is connecting with Nancy.com, and you'll be sent right over to our calendar, and you can just pick a time that works with you, works for you, and it'll automatically be put on our calendar. We would love to talk with you. We really would. We'd love to find out what you're about, find out if you're a good prospect for this, and also find out from you, because we've heard from people, oh my gosh, I want to do this. I want to have my own web TV show. I want to have my own podcast. I want to do this. How can we do this? Well, Nancy and I don't talk about this very much, but we do have a program that she and I have teamed up on. It's called Maximize Your Message. And we literally walk you through A to Z, how to do it, how to be comfortable doing it, what the equipment is that you need, what's the mindset you need to be in, how you book your the whole thing, the whole gamut, so that you can, when you get out of this program that we do, you're going to be able to set up your own web TV show, your own podcast. How cool is that?
Very cool. And we drew from our own inspiration, because as I shared my story with Caren when I started and leaped into just the faith pond, I can do this. Yes, I had to learn sometimes the hard way on some things. Caren and I together, we amassed quite a few years of being in this business, and there are certain things to watch out for, and we will be watching out for you too. Caren and I are very much alike in that we're about, like you said, relationships, but also once a program is over, it's not, sayonara, see you, or adios, or whatever language, goodbye. No, we're here to uplift, and that's what Caren did for me when I was stepping into. In fact, I brag about it. I said, okay, now it's time for me to go into post-production. Whereas before, I was like, oh my God, I was like a white nut, like nails on a chalkboard. What do I do? But now, it just takes time. But Caren is such a great teacher, and this is the foundation of her business. And I really appreciate you. And if anyone joins us in that facet, you're going to avoid a lot of the speed bumps or the potholes.
Exactly, the potholes. And let me just return the compliment. I know this is not meant to be a compliment fest, but let me return the compliment. Anybody that knows me knows that the one thing I'm not is woo-woo. I am not. And I used to. Well, that's what I was going to say. My perception of woo-woo is all this stuff out there that I don't understand that's supposed to have an impact on me, because I'm kind of concrete. It's like what I do is what I do. Nancy has opened the door for me to receive this. And she has opened the door in a way that I don't feel like, oh my God, what is she going to talk about? I actually look forward to the conversation. You truly have given me some insight in some things that have been going on in my life, that you really have a different perspective without that woo-woo-ness. So, and I say that because there are a lot of people out there like me. They are, and they hear that woo-woo and they hear that the hocus pocus stuff, and they say it's not for me. That's not real stuff. So I encourage you that if you have that feeling in the back of your head, Nancy's not one of those people. Nancy is one of those people that takes the woo-woo out and brings the whole ideas back to where they belong inside of you, so that you can be the best person that you can be, and you can take from that knowledge. So Nancy, thank you. This sounds like the Mutual Admiration Society, but truly, we love each other.
Yes, and this is a representation of what happens when you build a relationship and you start to get to know each other, and what each other's strengths are. Weaknesses. There's times that she's seen me, put my head down on this test, like, can't do it. And she goes, yes, you can. We're going to get through this, and likewise. And that is what I know what this world needs. I've been talking a lot about it, about the disconnect in the society. And a lot of the blame goes to technology, but here we are on technology, and that connects us, but it's how it's used responsibly. And I've gained some great friendships from people all around the world because of Skype, because of Google Hangout. And also what we incorporated, I think we started in the fall, was our Connecting with Caren and Nancy show that we are looking forward to carrying on monthly and maybe doing it on Blab. So keep your eye out for that.
And that was a cool show, because what we did is we asked people to come on the show with us. That's what I was saying when I said there might be some other opportunities. It may not be an interview. It might be one of these Connecting with Caren and Nancy, where you come on and you share what you're doing. And you create some relationships, and those, I love, those are fun shows. And it's great for your visibility, because guess what we do with those shows, guys? We take those shows that recorded and we put them into the channel, the media channel. We put your names in there and your websites, and we give an ability to have a call to action. So if somebody watches that show and they go, oh, I've never heard of that before, I'm going to go click and find out more about you. So these are really cool things. And I don't know about you, Nancy. I believe it's probably the same thing. I am asked, especially now that I've been doing so many shows like this, is what kind of programs and services do I personally teach or promote or am involved with? And I'm sure, right, Nancy, you get that request all the time. So why don't you tell us what you have going in the new year, 2016, so that people really have a sense of how they can work with you next year?
Well, much of it lands still here in 2015. Big year for me, because started the year before when I was inspired during an interview with a woman, Alicia Howes, of Your Soul Story, and she teaches, her company's Your Soul Story. That made complete sense to me, because what I know for sure is that we all have a soul. We all come into the world with this bright light, and this has become my new toy, the star. And if you see my new logo, actually, if you haven't seen it, I had it right here, and I love it, because
I love it too.
It's a representation of here that starts my name, and it starts with a single speck, and that is the bright star that we come in. Here we are in the month of Christmas, and I know there's different religions and all that, but everyone can relate to the star in the sky,
the light,
and
the light.
And that is from whatever you refer to, God, source, light, the universe. That is where, and you can even talk to me about quantum physics, because it supports that. Long story short, we came into this world with a bright light, a purpose. And once you discover that journey that you're on and that purpose within that journey, I'll take you on the yellow brick road, but we're not going to Oz. We're going back home. I was inspired the other day to think of being on a stage and saying, you're not in Kansas anymore. Of course not. We're all seeking and searching for who we really are, when all the answers are here. So allow me to be your guide, so that you can be your own soul authority of who you are, and really live in that space, in what I call destiny. This is what you're destined to do. And it finally took this year to get it, with me being able to access my soul, my record keepers, and I'm getting a little out there with that, but it is a very sacred and intimate process. And from there come answers, and then you know where you are guided. I used to do a lot of visioning work. I still do. Got a couple workshops coming up in January. It starts with the visioning, but what I realize is that I've been doing this work all along, because it's very intuitive work. So that's something that within my contact form too. If you're inspired to create a vision board, that's your inner guidance system, your GPS system of your life. It teaches you to, darn earbud, it teaches you to get out of your headspace. Because there again, if you're dropping into that right brain hemisphere, that's where all the creativity, the juicy flow comes in when you're feeling absolutely stuck. If you can see it, you can believe it, and then I help you anchor it in, and bam, if you combine that with an intuitive soul reading, you've got the world at your fingertips.
It's the juice. It's the juice that pushes you forward. to be able to do all this stuff.
Exactly. And then I put together a 6-month Live Your Soul Destiny program. Got to still fine tune it, but very excited. I'll be launching that in January to start in February. And that, because it does take time. I know I've been on my journey for about 7-8 years. And yes, transformation can happen in an instant, but you need to learn practical exercises
foundation
to anchor it in.
Right.
And then that's when I set you free on your magic carpet ride, on your destiny. So I'm really excited. I'm super excited.
Well, I'm excited to see what you're coming out with. I mean, to watch you grow from where you were. I mean, you were doing so many things then, and now it's even more. And it's really wonderful, Nancy, to be able to see your growth. Obviously, what I hone in on is the technology. You went from, I don't want to touch this, to, I remember saying to you, you look like you look.
Yes, I went, oh, my hair's like that.
Yeah. But look at you now, and truly look at you now. It's not just the show that we do together. It's the show you do, you have your regular radio show that you do. And as you said, when you first went into public, production, that first time, I remember that first time. I don't know if you remember that first time. Oh my gosh. And it wasn't you per se, it was just the technology, and it just wasn't keeping, and it just didn't do what it was supposed to do. But it does now. And that's, I think the message is that it's technology. Technology is only as good as technology. So as long as you keep that frame of mind, that's what I'm going to be jumping in next year in terms of the whole technology piece of the puzzle, and specifically digital assets. I'm known as the digital diva. I laugh when I hear that, because I don't really think I'm a diva, but I think it's a cute name, digital diva. So these are some of the things that I'm launching. Some of them have already launched, but by the beginning of next year, I will have the following things in place for people to take advantage of. I have a Digital Diva mobile app that people are going to be able to download right onto their phone, and that's coming out in January. And why I'm so excited about that is that it's going to push out a digital tip every single day, something that you can do in your business digitally to create a little more visibility. Things like tips on Facebook, things that will get you more seen on Facebook, or how to be more productive digitally, so you get a calendar program, all sorts of things. And it's just one little tip. I have noticed that people get overwhelmed when they are on all this stuff is given to them all at one time. And then they just go, oh, this is just too hard, and they walk away. I'm not going to do it. Unfortunately, or fortunately in my case, because I think it's cool, technology is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So you either are going to buy it, jump in and start doing it now. And I mean buy it, meaning in wrap your head around it and say, okay, I'm going to learn how to do it. You don't have to learn how to do it all. You don't. If somebody says you need to learn how to do it all, go talk to somebody else, because you don't have to learn how to do it all. But if you have the ability to integrate just one little thing every day, it's going to up your visibility. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I have already launched is my Digital Asset Boot Camp. It is a standalone program, do it yourself, where it takes you through 6 modules from creating your video, then going into audio, then into ebooks and transcriptions, and then how to use those digital assets in terms of creating social media posts and things like that, and memes and graphics. The next program that's launching, and that's going to launch in February, is my group coaching program. And that's a 3-month program, and it will take people from really the novices who, when they log onto their computer, they're still confused between what a browser is and an operating system on their computer, or they know that they should have an email account and they're still using something that I will not name right now. No offense. No offense to the Americans out there. Okay. But how to set up a Gmail account, how to connect your YouTube account, how to optimize it, how to make sure that your calendars are in sync so that you can carry your calendar around with you every single day and be able to know what you're doing. So all of these kind of initial things that ultimately will take you to the very end, where you will feel very comfortable creating on the fly videos that can provide you with content that will provide you with more visibility to show you as an authority in your field. And of course, people can work with me one-on-one and all that kind of stuff. But again, my goal in this year, 2016, is motivation. That's my word for the year. And that is to become the motivator, to provide the motivation for someone to take that next step so that they will not be afraid of the technology. There's nothing to be afraid of. Really, there isn't. The water is nice. Jump on in and take that next step. And again, if you're interested in doing a show like we're doing, why not? We can show you how to do it. We're so excited. Nancy, I'm so excited. You know what? We have come so far in this year. We really have. We have come so far. And next year is just around the corner. We would love to hear what you're doing, our viewers and our listeners. What are you planning for 2016? You can get involved with this. You can interact with us. So in the notes right down there, there is a little link that says 22social dot something, something, something. Click on that, and that will take you to the area that you watch our show live. And right below that, there are Facebook chats. Put your message to us. What are you doing in 2016 that's going to change or make a difference in how you do business, or something that what your journey looked like? Tell us what you're up to in 2016. Nancy and I respond to all messages. So let us know what's going on. Go over to that link. It's right in the run sheet down below there. Go click on it and tell us what you're doing in 2016. Any last notes, Nancy? Anything else we want to share with our viewers?
I was going to add to that. Also, share if there's a certain theme that you want us to have on a particular show, or if you know someone who would make for a great guest. And what I have a couple words for next year, but expansion is one. But this is just an example of, by you, the viewers, going into that feedback thing, you never know who you're going to connect with. And this takes me back to 7 years ago when I was in BNI. It's that second level. That immediate person may not be the one that you're supposed to meet, and this is where the universe conspires to support you. They may know someone, and boom. And that's how it happens. Do not stay in the dark. Step into the light of who you are. Caren and I are on two different levels, are here to support you, to help you really be in that space of, shining brilliantly. Be radiant in your life.
I love that. That's beautiful. And it's true. It's totally true. So as we always say at the end of our shows, we want to thank you for being with us today. We know that you have a choice. We know you have a choice as to how you spend your time. I don't know about you, Nancy. I know me. I have too many things going on, and it's hard to pick and choose. So we want to thank our viewers because you have chosen to spend some of your time with us and to watch our show. So we are very, very appreciative of that. And we just tell you to have a great New Year and have a safe New Year celebration. And we will see all of you next year on the next episode of Connecting People, Changing Lives. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.